Hello and welcome to the third season of my YouTube channel Climbinator 1978 or 1978, whichever way you want to pronounce it. Now, thank you for supporting my channel for as long as you have, and I must say it's been a great journey so far. Now, upon reviewing my previous season, which was season 2, I noticed that most of the reviews I did were for films that were largely either just average or terrible films. This is why in this season I'm going to try and mix it up a little. So, for example, one review will be for a film that I think is really, really good, and the next review will be for a film that's either meh or even downright terrible. Anyway, I'm not going to mess around too much. I'm going to go straight on to the reviews. Okay. Now, in my first season, I reviewed the Tim Burton to Joel Schumacher Batman movies, as you may all remember, or most of you remember. Now, where would Batman be without Superman? This is why I'm going to review the Christopher Reeve Superman films, and only the Christopher Reeve Superman films, as well as those superhero films that are related to Christopher Reeve's Superman, like Supergirl. Now, to kickstart with, about 9 months ago, I went through a binge watch over the period of 6 days of watching the Christopher Reeve Superman and Christopher Reeve related Superman films, starting with the 3-hour edition of Superman the movie. Now, the reason why it's a 3-hour edition is that it was a rarely shown TV extended version of Superman the film that was shown in the early 80s. And it's only just been released on Blu-ray over here. It's really worth watching, because it has all the deleted scenes from Superman the film inserted into the main feature. And it gives a whole lot more into Clark Kent's background. Now, for those who are not too familiar with Superman and his origin, the first film really does delve into his origin story, where he's a alien baby who comes from the planet Krypton. Now, the planet Krypton is destined to be doomed within the next 30 days. And Kal-El, aka Superman's parents, they put him into the space pod and they send him to Earth. At the same time, Jor-El, father of Kal-El, sentences 3 Kryptonian criminals to the Kryptonian dimensional prison called the Phantom Zone. These criminal terrorists were led by General Zod. Now, in Superman the film, they only have like a 10-minute cameo, but they return in Superman 2 as the main villains, which I'll get onto in a minute. But yes, Superman the movie is essentially the heartwarming story of an immigrant child who grows up in America and Earth overall. And he learns all about humanity and where he stands in humanity, and appreciates his home world. And he becomes a beacon of hope. In Superman 2, General Zod and his alien lackeys break out the Phantom Zone when it happens to be right in Earth's atmosphere. And of course, each one of them gets the same amount of powers as Superman, just when Superman loses his powers. So basically, the world is at risk. Now, that's one thing I forgot to mention just now. The main nemesis in Superman the movie is Lex Luthor, played by Gene Hackman, who is a brilliant foil for Christopher Reeve. Christopher Reeve is, in my opinion, the best on-screen Superman. But Gene Hackman, his portrayal of Lex was great for the time, and he's still great for today. But my favourite Lex Luthor is John Shear from Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman. Because you get more of a billionaire tycoon version of Lex, who knows how to evade the law, but still get up to his schemes in that TV series. In these films, Lex is always getting caught by the authorities, and he just becomes really a pantomime villain as the sequels goes on. In Superman 2, Lex Luthor takes more of a back seat as a villain, and it's General Zod, Ursa and Non who become the main villains. Christopher Reeve and Margot Kidder, they're always excellent as Superman and Lois Lane. As I said, Christopher Reeve is the best portrayal as Superman. His Clark Kent may be a little bit dated now, but it still works. And Margot Kidder physically isn't my favourite portrayal of Lois, but she's got that feistiness down to a T. Physically, my favourite portrayal of Lois is Terry Hatcher. And then, after Superman 2, we get down to the sequels. Superman 3. Now, after the excellence of Superman 1 and 2, which was so intensely written, and written with such brilliant structure between their plots and their characters, you had good character development and plot development in Superman 1 and 2. It comes down to Superman 3, which was expected to be the end of the franchise. And oh God, is it just... Ugh. Superman 3 has a villain that was written specifically for the film. And I can imagine the hype at the time for Superman 3 must have been huge. It must have been huge, because hearing that the villain was written specifically for the film must have got people thinking, oh, you know, it might be good, might be bad, you know. Is it a villain from the comics, but they're just not telling us this? You know, Hollywood, trickery and all that. No. It's not a villain like Brainiac. It's not a villain like Darkseid, one of the villains who could be not only a intellectual menace to Superman, but also a physical alien menace. No. All it is Lex Luthor with a different name and different coating. That's all it is. And his ultimate objective in the film is to take over the world's oil and the world's coffee grains. That really is his whole plot point. And Supergirl, the spin-off film, well, that is just a whole different point of bad. But that's for another review, which I'll review a little bit further down the line. Then we get to Superman 4, which was released 4 years after Superman 3. Now I'm going to do this a little bit differently to my other reviews. I'm going to do a brief review right now, and then either a little bit later on tonight or some point tomorrow I'm going to do a full in-depth autopsy review. Because this was, at the time, the movie that literally almost killed the superhero genre in cinema for a couple of years. It was so bad. After the story to its development is this. After Superman 3, 2 years afterwards, the Salkinds, who made the first 3 Superman films, sold the rights of the Superman franchise. And they sold it to the cheapest film studio in Hollywood, Canon, who are my number one enemy of all time. Well, that along with Batman and Robin and Wonder Woman 84. Yes, I've actually seen internet memes which compare the poster for Superman the movie, where the tagline is "You'll believe a man can fly," and right beside it is the poster for Superman 4 saying "You won't believe a man can fly," because you can actually see the wires attached to the actors throughout the whole film. But yes, Superman 4 is the Superman film where he goes up against Nuclear Man. And that film has got so much wrong with it. It's just a whole barrel load of wrong that needs to have its own review. It needs to have its own review. And it's a real shame because it's the last Superman film Christopher Reeve did. But I will say, Christopher Reeve was still doing a great performance in that film. So stay tuned for that one particular review in particular, because that's going to be a special one. Yeah. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the review. Please like and subscribe and share this video, ladies and gents.